most women want the wedding day, they want the ring, they want the bragging rights, they want the Instagram post. But do they really want the wife job description? Now, the wife job description, I believe in it so much, that's why I won't do it. I was engaged. And that's what, before all this, very early in my career, I was engaged. I was in my 20s for my college sweetheart. And the one thing we decided is we would never get divorced. And I really think people should make that decision before you get married, because it's like, listen, if we do this, it's me and you till we see Jesus. And there wasn't an infidelity. I realized we had different life plans. And most women usually just kind of follow the man. Nothing wrong with that, right? And at that time, it would have made sense. He was an electrical engineer. I'm a radio host making $7 an hour. I'm going to probably be fired in I would you get fired all the time in radio. I have no job security. So girl, you got this man, tall, dark, handsome, marry him, have babies, and run off to the sunset. And I couldn't make that bet because I had so much inside of me. I had to take a risk on becoming who Kendra could become. And that's 20 years ago. And as I say, I always tell my age because I want people to know my life is a journey. I'm 46 years old. If I would know that you make that deal and you decide to go for your career, and at 46, you still wouldn't be married, you still wouldn't have kids, would you make that same bet? Absolutely.
You would, yeah.
Because I had to choose myself. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be married and just say I'm married. If I'm married, it's because this is what God's purpose is for me. And I'm riding out with you to the sunset. And I know you're gonna mess up, but I'm here. I'm Coretta Scott Kinging it. Yeah. And if I can't Coretta Scott King it, then I'm not gonna do it. You just should. Yeah. Most women want the wedding day.
She make an excellent point. She make an excellent point. That's her life decision. And if she can genuinely look back and say, yes, she would have made that decision at 46, she does not regret that decision. And she's content with her life right now, having no man and having to freeze her eggs.
Today, I'm going to show you how to freeze eggs.
Then that is on her. Who are we to say, oh, nah, she lying? I personally think she lied, but it's still her life. Why I think she lied? Because when she had call up on Kevin Samuel's show, I want to say this was like 4 years ago, 4 years ago. She was 43 at the time. She was telling a different story. Unless she came to this realization recently, she was telling a different story. She desperately wanted a man to the point where she was freezing her eggs because she desperately wanted a family. Now, you look back at the decisions you make. Unfortunately, you cannot go back. That is the worst part of regrets. You cannot go back and change it. And you get to 46, knowing that you had an opportunity with an electrical engineer who would more than likely have an income that could support you to follow your dreams while you have kids. I don't understand why these women think that men are just like, oh, sit here in the corner and don't have a hobby, don't have a dream, don't have a goal. Like, there's no reason why she couldn't also be a mom and like do something on the side. She just feels as though like, oh, she just that. And it's that Tyler Perry concept. It's that like color purple concept where it's like you either choose one or the other. Kind of like when we were in college, like you can't date and study at the same time. Like you can't do something for yourself, because what she's doing now, YouTube. She's doing YouTube now. So you mean to tell me being a wife and having kids would have stopped you from doing YouTube? There are so many women who are wives and mothers on YouTube. Hey, that is just me. Who am I to criticize her life choices? If she claimed that she's happy with it, it does not change the price of rice. But what I can say, she make a great point when she said, if you're not ready to take up the responsibility of being a wife, don't do it. Because you see a lot of women running to get divorced because their men have some structure, some standards, some guidelines that they need for them to follow, and they're not willing to do it. They're not willing to submit to a man. So if you're not willing to submit and take telling from a man, just leave relationships and marriage alone.
Unhealed women don't like to be wrong. They just like to look right. You can't correct the unhealed woman. You try to hold her accountable, all of a sudden you hate women. You try to tell her that she moving foul, now you judging her. No, girl, you just hate accountability. Unhealed woman will think that everything is an attack. You try to tell them, hey, that was kind of toxic. And you know what they're saying? They'll be like, see, that's why I don't tell nobody nothing. But the reality is, you just don't like to be told about yourself. Healed woman can say, yeah, you're right, I messed up. An unhealed woman, she gonna twist it, she gonna gaslight, The problem is, too many women think that being healed means that can't nobody check you. When in reality, if you can't take correction, then you're not healed.
No,
Unhealed
that's
women
facts.
don't.
And there's so many women walking around who can't take telling, and they hit you with the shame, insult, guilt. They hit you with the, oh, you gay, you sassy, you must not like women, your mama black. Well, it's just like, sis.
Stop it. Get some help.
I think most women are addicted to the obsession of being a wife. It looks like, as long as you make me your wife, as long as you propose to me. And that becomes dangerous because you're chasing a construct more than you are the ins and outs that allow you to have a healthy construct. You have to do a lot of healing. You have to do a lot of growing, a lot of evolving, a lot of accountability. And I don't think the average person is equipped or ready to go through ego death that comes with being in a marriage.
Let me go into that wormhole a little bit. I'm glad a woman has said that publicly. Men in our group settings, we kind of talk around it because we don't really want to admit it to ourselves. And a lot of times we already in a marriage and understand that being a wife is more important than her actually wanting me as an individual.
Absolutely. Because she would have married the man down the street.
Right.
Had he had the credentials and
the
proposed.
credentials and proposed. Okay. When I'm hearing that, what I'm hearing is also status, like a badge of honor for women that do get the title.
Absolutely.
So do you think the desire to become a wife in a lot of situations more so than actually wanting your husband, do you think it's more so about OPP and other people's perceptions than it is her actual own desire?
That's the unconscious belief that I believe most women hold is when they get married, it will put them in a different bracket. And it will show the world that they have been chosen. They have value. Other people who are balanced, I'm not talking about you. But if you are a person who has not balanced that obsession that's been programmed into us since children, it's status to them. It's not even about love. It feels like love to them, but that's not love. That's a wounding. And to them, the fact that they were finally chosen feels like medicine on those wounds. So it makes them feel happy, giddy, liberated. But then you see that fades really fast. 3-4 years into the relationship, when all of that glossy obsession and perception has faded, they get to see the man for who he really is.
The Bible said, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And a lot of these women aren't wives. A lot of these women aren't wife material. I wish they had went over that point. This to me seems, this is my personal opinion. I've never watched this podcast. I have absolutely no idea who these people are. But they seem like they're pandering to women somewhat. They seem like though they are trying to not put as much pressure on women to be wives. Because to her point, a lot of women will enter marriages just to have the title, just to have the status, but have no idea what it means to be a wife. The same women who are in marriages, who have the title of a wife, will say they will never submit. We'll talk about equality. We'll talk about, oh, they are as equally, if not stronger than their husband. Happy wife, happy life. And that is the problem within itself. And that is why marriages fail, because a lot of these, because of feminism, these women don't want to take telling from their husbands. And if their husbands say go left, even though she don't believe going left is the right decision, you should go left with your husband, because why? That's who you marry. That's who you sign up to follow. But these women will say, no, I'm going to go right. And they'll fight to the end of the day to go right, instead of saying, let me go left. Because if the man, how I see it, if you say, let's go left, and we go left, and anything go wrong, is you're going to have to deal with the responsibilities. You're going to have to go, you're going to have to deal with it. As opposed to, you listen to me and we go right, and something happen, and then you still have to. No, the leader takes control. The leader, that's why a woman's supposed to respect and follow her husband's leadership. That's why a woman's supposed to, if he say go left, go left. Because if unfortunately she hits the fan and left never work out, he's going to have to brainstorm solution to get y'all out of it. So following a woman's leadership and following a woman's guideline when you are the one who's going to have to do the problem solving makes absolutely no sense. But hey, that is just me personally. Remember, I am a pick-me. A lot of us, myself included, weren't raised to be a wife. We weren't raised to take telling. We don't even know what submission look like. We don't even know how to shut up. and telling from a man. So we think that, oh, I should chase my career. I should chase my identity is in my career. My identity is in how much money I make. And like Kendra G, you get to 46 and you still have to tell yourself that lie. You still have to tell yourself that, oh, I will still choose my career over protection and guidance and leadership from a man, over a family. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. What we thank for that?
Feminist.
And this is why men are choosing to go overseas to find women who prioritize families over their career, prioritize family, knowing that if I win, you win. If you win, I win. We're one team. We're one pot, one and all. We'll go watch the next video on the screen. Another opportunity for us to show why men are choosing to, because the juice is just not worth the squeeze. And unfortunately, there are not a lot of women who are raised to be wives in the West. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, y'all.